Well, for two clubs with 7 championships between them, this was not the season finale either envisaged, nor their fans demanded. Both Melbourne Victory and Brisbane Roar out of finals contention, but there is still a bit to play for tonight. A win for either of these two will mean they avoid a bottom 4 spot. And let's have a look at the team news. A couple of changes for Melbourne Victory. Roderick Miranda returns after serving his ban for that red card against Western Sydney Wanderers. Lee Broxham reverts to the bench. Miranda takes over the armband because Josh Brillante is rotated out, with Tony Popovic opting to hand a starting A-League debut to 19-year-old Geordie Valadon in midfield after his cameo off the bench against Macca last week. Jason Guerrier still out with that hip injury, so Stefan Negro makes his 5th consecutive start at right back. Just the one change for Brisbane, that is in goal, where Macklin Freak gets his first start since December in place of Jordan Holmes. It's just his 4th game of the campaign. Jay O'Shea will move into double figures with a goal tonight and would become the first Raw player to score 10 or more in a season since Adam Taggart back in 2018-19. O'Shea scored the winner against Victory here in January. Former Victory players Ramat Akbari and Noah Smith are both on the bench. And a handy-looking bench for Victory as well. Chris Economides and Josh Brillante. So Melbourne Victory kickers off the final game of the season before the long off-season for both Victory and for the Roar. And you'd imagine, Daniel McBreen, those long winter months are likely to feature a fair bit of soul-searching as well.
Yes, indeed, Simon. Good evening, everybody. It's been a disappointing season for both these teams, and I guess the only thing really to play for tonight is #1 pride. Go out on a high, but also to miss out on those Australia Cup qualifying matches in July.
And of course 1 or 2 playing for contracts, particularly you'd imagine amongst the Brisbane Roar ranks, maybe with a new coach to arrive. This is Forderoli, who swapped clubs of course mid-season. One of the biggest names in the Victory team. And talking of big names, Macca, we were talking before we came on air about the 3 biggest names to have come to the A-League this season, they being Nani, Charlie Austin and Dwight York, all of which are no longer around, and the league's bottom 3 clubs are Victory, Brisbane and Macarthur.
Yeah, and sometimes clubs look to make a statement. It doesn't always work out, does it, for one reason or another? And on this occasion, all 3 of them haven't really worked out. You can't get it right every time, can you? That in the finals. And if it's any solace to Melbourne Victory, as it stands now, they're in 7th place.
Cadete heading off that run of Jack Hingerts, who's now out of position. And Ben Falami accelerating into that gap. Scott Neville across to try and cover. Falami got a deflection, and it's going to be a Victory corner. He's only scored once this season. Ben Falami, that was the winner against Macarthur. Not far away on that occasion.
And that's what Tony Popovic and the Melbourne Victory fans will want to see from Ben Falami. Direct, getting at his defender. Real aggressive, looking to cut inside and get a shot away, aiming for that far corner.
Just trying to bend it in O'Shea. Truitt. Decent ball, Henry Hoare. And he had the fullback on the overlap, and the shots by Kai Truin deflected behind, and Brisbane have their first corner.
Well, ultimately it was good play from Brisbane Roar to get through the Melbourne Victory press with Kai Truin.
Why didn't he play in Jack Hingert here, though?
Yeah.
That was the ball, surely.
Yeah, it was a great run from Jack Hingert. And also I thought earlier, Kai Truin and Farash Gamulka both found themselves in good spaces in midfield, but a little slow to get the ball to them.
Aldred and Neville, two potential targets from O'Shea's corner, and Aldred did reach it. And it's pushed away by Paul Izzo, and Victory can launch a counter. It's Valadon, and it needed that touch by Hingert. A decent corner, and it forced Paul Izzo into his first meaningful work of the night.
It was a smart save. Tom Aldred up strong, heading down as well. It's a little bit more difficult skidding off the surface for the goalkeeper.
Valupale, Negro bombing forward beyond him, and he's found the fullback. That was a good readjustment from Tom Aldred. Here's that chance at the other end some moments ago.
You can see Tom Aldred just guides himself into space, gets up over Roderick Miranda. Good header. He's forced into playing it into a tight area and then given the ball away.
Scooped over the top beautifully by Roderick Miranda, and Romero's onto it. Here's Fornaroli, beautiful move, and Valupale in the end is denied by Macklin Freak. Well, that was lovely football from Victory, and it was all started by Roderick Miranda.
Well, that was beautiful, wasn't it? There you go with the scoop pass. I'm sure VAR would have looked at the offside lines, but that lovely touch there from Bruno Fornaroli when it looked like he may have taken a strike on himself. Lovely cushioned pass into the path of Nishan Valupale.
Valadon not going to win that ahead of Hingert. He's set through Lofthouse. This is high Truin to drill it across. And Scott Neville on the turn. Score a huge amount of goals. He's just got the one this season. He's on target.
I knew that was coming. He doesn't score a lot of goals.
11th and 12th in that regard in the Isuzu Youth A-League men's competition this season. Here's Valupale. Valadon. Well, it opened up nicely for him, and it needed that block from Tom Aldred. Tony Popovic likes what he saw there.
Well, it was good play all round there, wasn't it? Hold up play here, look up, and then the run from Valadon into the space between centre-back and full-back. And then defending from Tom Aldred to get across and cover.
Managing to stay on his feet. Riding that challenge of Hingert, who's still trying to stay with him. Romero encouraged to shoot, maybe Cadete will. Hits the stanchion.
Well, they found themselves in a number of promising situations, Melbourne Victory. It was great feed again from Ben Ferrani, who's had a good first half so far. Been aggressive, proactive with his running. And as this ball comes across here, I think if Cadete gives a shout, he may be able to step onto that and strike it first time. If Fornaroli lets it roll.
O'Shea. Nicely angled ball out wide for Hall. And now it might open up. Touch back, O'Shea. And again, that touch needed to be forward from Kai Truin rather than back.
Yeah, look, it wasn't the greatest pass to him. It was a little behind, but he could have easily taken a touch forward and maybe got a strike away or slid a little pass. Instead, it goes back five or so metres.
Romero, the guilty party here.
They'll definitely see it at least till half time, won't they? Only 45 seconds to go.
And they've got a free kick in an attacking situation here. Scott Neville looking to steal in at the back post.
Well, he thought he'd done well there, Scott Neville, and won the corner. Tom Aldred's asking about in back play. Was a player brought down as the ball came in? If you look here.
Well, Roderick Miranda just falls into Tom Aldred and drags him down.
I think he's got a...
Yeah, I think he's got a bit of a case there, to be honest.
I do as well.
Maybe the last chance for either team at the end of the first half. This is Hoare. Stjepovic's touch for O'Shea, and it goes for a throw. Is there going to be time enough to take it?
Well, that sums up their Brisbane Roar. 4 players on the sideline within 10 metres and not one player anywhere near the box. This makes it very difficult to score goals.
Not too much movement from the throw either. Actually, it does come in. On we go for the moment. Maybe that injury to Taras Gomulka just adding a few more seconds at the end of the first period. Here's Hoare. Now Hingett in position. What about the quality of the cross? Easily seen out by Roderick Miranda at the near post. Up towards Fornaroli. Chapman for Romero. And he can turn clear of Gomulka. And Victory perhaps looking to launch the final attack of the first half. Bruno Fornaroli stood up well low by Neville. It breaks here though for Valupale. Encouraged to shoot again by the fans. And again Brisbane make the block. And a little belatedly that will be half-time at AAMI Park. Lots of huff and puff from both teams. Nishan Valupale with a couple of efforts. Jordi Valadon had a pretty good opportunity for Victory. At the other end, Paul Izzo forced to make a decent save to deny Tom Aldred. Jay O'Shea with an effort that was deflected over. Maybe the goals will come in the second half, let's hope so, but at the break at AAMI Park, it's goalless. Melbourne Victory 0, Brisbane Roar 0. We're off to a quick break. On the other side of it, Tristan and the team will wrap up all the first half action. Don't go away. And Brisbane get us back underway. And I've mentioned this before this season, Daniel McBreen. This little period between the 45th minute and the hour mark is where Victory have done some of their best work this season. They've scored 10 goals, which is the joint most in the league, along with Melbourne City. So Brisbane beware for the first quarter of an hour at least.
You're saying they can switch off after the first 15? It's not been that bad, has it? Well, there's been plenty of industry from both teams. They've created some half chances. Just can't quite open the lock.
Let's see if Brisbane can do that here. A little back heel. Henry Hall trying to play himself in. Partly cleared by Chapman, but back it'll come through Gomulka. And Paul Izzo will pick that one up and launch it forward quickly. Chested down beautifully by Fornaroli. Victory immediately on the attack. Fornaroli. Neville staying with him. And he drove it low across the face, and Victory fans appealing for a pass back off Gomulka. I don't think that was ever likely to be given.
If you don't ask, you don't get.
How about this for a touch?
I was just going to ask you, Simon, still now, he's getting on in years, is there a better striker back to goal than this man in the league? Well,
I mean, he grew up in Uruguay, of course. Same town as Luis Suarez, and just Lofthouse in position in the box. Henry Hall was calling for it. Victory have got defenders back in numbers. And Brisbane have to settle for a corner off Cadete.
Well, they did well, Melbourne Victory, there to get numbers back. There's 3 or 4 Brisbane Roar players on the attack, but 5 or 6 Melbourne Victory flooded that box, forced Brisbane Roar to come back outside the box and back wide again.
Jay O'Shea with the first corner of the second stanza. So they jockey for position. Deep it goes. And Courtney Perkins met it. And then Valadon partly clear for Victory. Hooked back forward by Truin, but easily steadied down by Romero. Now with Falami and Valadon. This is nicely built up by Melbourne Victory. And away they go. Big chance for the opening goal. It's a big save by Freak to deny Fernando Romero. And a complete miscue by Courtney Perkins, but Brisbane get away with that. And Victory sprung forward from one end of the pitch to the other in a matter of seconds.
was a good break in the Harvey Norman replay. Romero found himself away and he just had a heavy touch as Macca came out, spread himself, closed down the space.
Starting to build up a bit of a head of steam. Nice little sidestep by Falami, still going. Overran it in the end, and Neville nipped in. And will look to now set up a Brisbane Roar attack. Henry Hall on the move down the left. O'Shea wants the ball played early. Ball goes on his own, little back heel. Jordan Courtney-Perkins fires it into the roof of the net. And Brisbane Roar take the lead in the 54th minute. And it's a first goal in the competition for the fullback, Jordan Courtney-Perkins, with a thunderous drive.
Well, it's a wonderful counter-attacking move on the Harvey Norman replay. And as Henry Hall drove forward, he had Jay O'Shea, chose to ignore him, and as he goes inside, he brings all the Melbourne Victory defenders with him. Courtney-Perkins overlaps, one touch, and then it's just with sheer brute force that he gets the ball past Izzo. Lovely back heel from Hall, and then whack from Courtney-Perkins. There's nothing Izzo can do about it. And after looking promising at one end for Melbourne Victory, Brisbane Roar go down the other end and take a 1-0 advantage.
Well, he's on loan this season, back with the Roar. Jordan Courtney-Perkins from his club side in Poland. A little bit of good fortune, just rebounded really off Courtney-Perkins, back to Hall. And Akbari, well, that would have been some introduction. First touch off the bench against his former club. Just falling away from that left-hand upright.
Well, we spoke earlier about maybe some safe play and not positive. Well, this was all positive, wasn't it? First touch comes in, hits it well. Just right.
Tests Paul Izzo. Good try. A couple of chances he's out off the bench now.
Yeah, stung the palms of Izzo there, but one that he was expected to take.
Played just 9 times in Victory Blue. Ramat Akbari during his season on loan with the club back in 18-19. Great story on his journey as well, and that of his family on A-League's All Access. Check that out. Paramount Plus. Here's a chance for Brillante. And just catching practice for Macklin Freak.
He found himself in an advanced position with a little bit of space, but couldn't quite dig the ball out from underneath him as he tried to get the power in the strike.
Headed away by Akbari. Brisbane edge, a few seconds closer to an 8th clean sheet of the season. Economidis, better delivery. Well, Fornaroli couldn't have tried any harder to angle his body into the correct contortional position. But just wide. Macklin Freak has been booked, by the way, for delaying the restart. They won't worry about that too much. Are they about to keep Victory scoreless for the 3rd time this season? Looks that way. There's Stepovic. Have the ball back through the midfield. It's going to be a throw for Melbourne Victory. And there are 2.5 minutes left for play. Fornaroli holding off the intentions of Hingerts. Wasn't too friendly either. Negro. Marchand. Brillante, now they can turn and face forward. Economides needs a good delivery. Can he find it? Took a flick off the defender. Miljanic got good clearing distance. Where does the throw go to? It's Brisbane. And there are just groans of disappointment around Amy Park, Macca.
Yeah, it was fighting for Miljanic. They want to see this season out with a victory against Victory. They haven't got far to go now. It's been a disappointing season, as we've said, for both teams, but I guess if Brisbane Roar can hold on to this result and sit in 7th after the game, I think the match after this will relegate them to...
Here's a chance. Good save by Freak to deny Roderick Miranda. Oh, now as the foot high by Hingett. Miranda's gone down. No penalty awarded for now. Into the box it comes. Another Victory player down. This time De Silva. Economides with a very tame cross. And Brisbane see that one out. And Sean Evans is just going to say, hang on a second. Whilst Kate Jacobitz, the VAR, communicates with him. Might there be a bit of late drama here? I'm not sure I was fully convinced there was enough in it for a penalty, and that's been confirmed. Cross comes back into the box, away by Jack Hingett. We are now into the 6th minute of added time. It's now or never for Victory. Flicked on by Miranda. Out it pops. And Brillante on the full. Plenty of power, but not the direction. And that might just be that.
Well, we've seen plenty of matches this season change, but not today in the last few minutes.
And a punch in the air from Tom Aldrin and his teammates. Tells you all you need to know, along with the boos from the Victory fans. Brisbane Roar celebrates. They win here for the 2nd time this season to avoid those cup playoffs. They are up to 7th spots. Some consolation for the Roar after a difficult campaign, but a season that began with so much promise ends in misery for Melbourne Victory. Their 6th home defeat of the season. They will be involved in those cup playoffs. They finish in 11th spot. The only good news is their horrible year is finally over. Melbourne Victory 0, Brisbane Roar 1 at Amy Park.